All right, well, I've returned to Milton Keynes. So yeah, when I'm in, just stuttered. So when I'm in, I lived here for 5 years. 5 years too long. It's traumatic now.
How are you doing?
Oh, look at this. So the third driver is simulator, development, tests, and I think as well it helps when I go to races. So I'll go to, say, roughly 8 races this year, and it also helps me then hear feedback from the drivers, and I can then correlate to what I feel in the sim, and also then try to help or understand better what the car needs going forwards.
So we don't handshake.
I get to work as well with Simon on the sim, who was my race engineer for 5 years here at the team, so very familiar. Kind of just like get back into the flow of that. And like obviously my experience, not only in Formula One but working with Simon, I think there's a lot of trust there. And in terms of like feedback or feelings or ideas, I certainly feel like I'm listened to, and my opinion is respected.
So like a sim day, normally so the morning we're doing correlation, so if the last race was Melbourne, it's then going back there, doing like a quali run, trying to build a car and then basically see what we could have maybe done with the luxury of more time on that weekend, so try a few more setup things. So say that's some of correlation, and then the second half of the day is upcoming races. And it'll be more setup work, development work, maybe some aero scans, so to understand what maybe downforce level to start with. Also for me personally, just keeping my eye in. You know, the sessions I've done so far I've actually really enjoyed, you know. I think as well, because I'm not racing 23 weekends this year, the simulator is actually quite fun for me to get back behind the wheel. It's cool actually, you know, a few things have changed since I was here last, and a lot of familiar faces though, but it's cool trying to learn where the car is now, 4 years on from when I last drove my Red Bull car. So that's been it's been fun, but also feels quite familiar. The cameras. Oh, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. You okay?
Good.
Is it all going okay?
Yeah.
Back in the rhythm?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, you're still there. You're still on there.
Awesome.
Can I borrow him for 2 minutes?
Since I was last year, back in 18, I mean the whole facility here, you know, it's expanded, it's grown, everything's got bigger and better. I'm certainly comfortable with, you know, where I'm currently at, and of course, yes, racing is my passion, and you know, I'd love to go through, you know, what Max and Checo's feeling now, that excitement, that adrenaline, all those emotions. I love this thing. But I know that I'm in a place where I feel like it's all happening at the right time, for the right reason. It's also kind of filled me with more understanding of what I would do, you know, if I was to jump into racing. 27. This stuff always cracks me up. What they've done with this place is so cool. They've used the space so well. I love this car. First one. So this was Montreal, Budapest, and Spa. Yeah, first year with the team. This car changed my career. I remember Canada, I remember everything. Yeah, I remember the briefing after qualifying that night. I was pissed with myself more than anything. Nothing really was going that well for me on that Saturday. And then the next day was pretty awesome. Like all that stuff, all the things that made me upset about the qualifying that day was just because I believed that I belonged further up the front. So it just kind of fueled me for the next day, but there's like a positive anger. It's all well and good saying something and looking at yourself in the mirror and believing it, but you still have to do it to prove it. And crossing the line, it was like, oh, I can do this, you know, so. And then on the podium, it was like it was an image I'd seen before. You know, it was like you picture like your first win, and you picture being up there, hearing your anthem, and like seeing the crowd of people, the sea of people. And I remember getting up on the top step and looking down, and it was like, oh, this is actually what I pictured. Like yeah, it was all as I thought it would be. Good times. You know, this was the car that kind of gave me the confidence and reputation of like late braking and some pretty cool moves. But I feel like this car, the 2016, probably the car I was most like comfortable in. And we got our first 1-2 in years. That was in Malaysia. Had a few heartbreaks as well in 16. I think it is concerning to make that any. But it was all in all was a really strong. The fans were awesome, you know, in Melbourne. On one hand, yeah, I'm not surprised because they're always pretty great back home, but I felt like the reception I had was the same as if I was competing. So, and whether they agree with decisions I've made or don't, like I feel like they've still been pretty, like that support and love has been fairly unconditional. So that's cool. So I mean, during session, it's just listening in. You know, I've got kind of the luxury of being able to absorb a bit more information. So I'm not just focused on driving, but I also can put myself in the seat kind of thing and be like, okay, this is maybe what I would do now, or okay, saying these things with the car, so what would I do, what would I think about maybe changing, and then you know, I kind of hear them talk about it, what they're discussing with engineers.
Stop the debrief.
On the medium, I think initially the track was still a bit dirty, that's why I think the first time was a little bit off.
Yeah, also learning from the car was the main, so I think we got some work to do.
If I have a strong opinion, sure I'll share it, but I also want to respect, let's say, the current setting and let's say system, so to speak, and I'm not trying to tread on anyone's toes, but of course when there's a, let's say, maybe a quiet moment, I'll feed back what I can and try to help. Miami, yeah, just excited to go back to year 2. And yeah, with, let's say, probably a bit less pressure on my shoulders, I might see a bit more of Miami this year. Snake Trooper. Doing lawn work out here.
It's a beautiful sunny day, and we're going on some mini boats. Great fun. Basically have some fun on the water.
So Yuki and myself were out on these mini jet boats, which were about 5, maybe 6 feet long, tiny. And think of it like a rental car and on the water. And we were doing some races, doing a time trial first. He was actually 9 seconds quicker than me on like a 40-second lap. So there was, I don't know if it was just him being a lot lighter than me. I feel like that boat was to scale for him. So like maybe that was just his bread and butter. But I decided to throw him in the water, try to fear him up a little bit. He's petrified of sharks, as we all are, but he was really, really petrified. So I threw him in before the race. But he got me by a nose in the race, and I think he was like half throttle. He'd worked his a little bit. I'd never driven or seen one of those before, so it was fun. It was actually really fun. And certainly, you know, like being at the track in Melbourne, even like during qualifying, I noticed like my leg was tapping. Yeah, I was certainly starting to feel it. So yeah, the hunger's still there. Like I know that. But yeah, I want to make sure that I know it's there, but I want to make sure it's like exploding out of my skin, you know. And I think it's getting more and more, so I'm sure that time will probably come. But right now, it's in a very good place where I'm like, I'm not kind of regretting taking this year off. I'm happy, but yeah, by the end of the year, I think I'll be ready to go.
Feels so nice to be back with the team and somewhere familiar, a place where I had a lot of success, but just a lot of memories and good ones. Obviously, Red Bull as a family gave me this career, like, you know, provided me with every opportunity that I got today to make this happen at this level. Do your best to treat people with respect, and you know, you never know what's going to happen in the future.
Cool. No worries.
What to do?
It's cool that you kind of find these people along the way, and yes, we work together, but you become very close friends as well.